Okay, let's get more on those talks in Geneva. Sinan Hatahet joins me. He's the Deputy Executive Director of the Omran Center for Strategic Studies. Many thanks for joining us, Sinan.
Thank you.
After days of uncertainty about will they, won't they come, we know now the Syrian opposition group, the HNC group, is now on the way to these talks. Surely that's good news.
That's good news in the sense that the international community has understood the reason why the opposition was reluctant to be present in the first place, and it was mainly discussing and to put in action the resolution 216 and 2135 that actually allows humanitarian aid access and granted access to the besieged area and the most vulnerable people.
It's still demanding that these sieges are lifted.
Of course.
Do you think their demands will be met, given they're now on their way?
Well, this is the challenge, and this is mostly on the UN, and to show actually their capacity and capability to bend the regime arm, because this has been already stated in a couple of very old resolution now that dates for more than a year, and lately in the latest resolution in regard to Syria, which is 2254, and all these resolutions which has been signed by the Security Council clearly stipulate that the regime should lift besieging, these cities and grant humanitarian access to all these regions. So there is no way that the political process will lead to anything if this humanitarian aids and demands are not being met before.
Okay, I guess we will see what happens on that next week. But let's talk about the HNC, the Syrian opposition group. Would you say that it is a fair representation of the Syrian opposition?
It does have a large spectrum of the opposition, including the military forces and revolutionary forces, as well as a large spectrum of political actors and parties. The only exception will be the PYD, but the PYD hasn't actually endorsed the national agenda that has been set by these forces.
Okay, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there, but it was really interesting to get your perspective. Sinan Hatahet from the Omran Center for Strategic Studies.